What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 22 of Hit the Books, the podcast that dives deep into the world of sports gambling among other sports. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or new to the show, we'll provide you with the latest insights, expert analysis, and tips to help you have informed decisions and hit the books with confidence. Join us this week as we break down the biggest matchup, explore the latest trends. This week is the NFL's divisional round matchups, 4 games this weekend. Hit the Books is here and ready for it, and our friends at BetUS have you covered with all the odds. Along with that, we have some news in the NHL among other sports. Lots of exciting things to unravel this week. Mackie, let's start it off with you. What's happening, my man?
Going on, everyone. Yeah, got a nice win from my Dallas Cowboys last week, down to the bottom or to the top 8 teams. So got a nice matchup against the Niners this week. Should be good. We'll be diving into that one. Other than that, yeah, just releasing our jersey winner today, and just got a few things for you guys, and that's it.
Ace, let's send it over to you, man. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Excited to get this giveaway contest going. I believe we picked the winner before we recorded this, so excited to get that out there. A lot of good engagement from all of our followers, so definitely keep your eyes out. Who knows what we have coming around the corner? Maybe something for the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl weekend, or whatnot. But yeah, also been crushing the daily cards in college basketball, the NBA, and the NHL. So keep up to date if you want to join in on the heaters. Another great week of football, though. A lot unraveled last week. Sad to see my boy Brady go down, but still some valiant opponents out there to gain the throne this year. So eager to jump into it.
Good stuff there, Ace. Huff, let's finish it off with you for these intros. What's going on, man?
Yeah, Ace said it. We've been killing it on the cards, NHL, NBA, and college basketball over the past week or so, and thank God, because after my NFL weekend going 0 for 5, looking worse than the Cowboys kicker out there, going 1 for 5. Couldn't even get the one win this weekend in the wild card weekend, but started out the regular season this way and bounced back. I think I can do it in the playoffs too. Just my first time going back under negative units on the year since my little spike up in I think it was like week 12 when I got on that little hot streak. So I really like the board this week. Take that for what it's worth after going 0-5 in the wild card round, but not going to hide the results. It is what it is. So I like the board this week. I'm excited to get into it.
You'll be back. You'll be back up there.
Huff, I almost brought this up to you
that
the other day.
Over, dude. That
Huff,
over. I needed one extra point, bro. One.
That might have been the worst beat of the year.
Yeah, that's a tough beat, man. That's a tough beat. You knew it was going to come into play with something, whether it be the spread or the over-under. You knew those missed extra points are going to come into play.
Huff, you can't even blame Brett Maher anymore. You have to blame the coaching staff for continuing to
for not going for 2 at some point. Yeah.
Blame Mike McCarthy, please.
Did you see the video of Dak on the sideline saying go for fucking 2?
Wait, so
dude,
Mackie, do you know if they kicked him to the curb?
No, they haven't yet. He's been our kicker for a really long time.
Yeah,
Dude, he's been our kicker for a really long time. I mean, usually you see a kicker leave after that, but I mean, you're in the playoffs right now. What are you gonna do? Sign a kicker and just hope for the best?
They're going.
I mean, it's been their guy for a while, so
yeah, they're going to a tough stadium.
Game. They can't. You don't want to.
I don't think San Fran's a very hard place to play. Why is San Fran such a hard place to play?
Let's ask Dak Prescott after this weekend.
Listen, man. Guy silenced a lot of people last week.
No, yeah. We'll get into that as we go. But Huff, one thing I was going to say is...
Including you over there, Ace.
I like Dak Prescott. I never hated on him. I just thought he would have a tougher day sledding. I mean, when you're getting the ball at midfield almost every drive, it's not that hard, though. If you think about it.
Yeah.
I still think carried by that lights-out defense, but he did have a good day. Connecting with Dalton Schultz, something he should have been doing all year long. Mackie and I were on that week 1, if you guys remember. With those Schultz props.
Schultz goes so under the radar too.
He's one of my
top 5 tight end. Top 5 tight end.
I don't know about being a top 5.
Top 5 and he is 5.
Okay, maybe 5. But where do you put what about Freiermuth?
Off the top of my head, no, he's better than Freiermuth just because Freiermuth doesn't have the experience yet. Freiermuth will be ahead of him, I think, but you can't project it yet. I mean, if you had to guess though, you'd probably say yeah. But right now, off the top of my head, I'd say Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, Hawkinson, Schultz.
Those 4 are definitely ahead of him. So if anyone could think of anyone else,
Waller, Pitts, like
I would
Not
go. I
Pitts.
would,
Maybe
I would
Waller.
go. I would
Maybe
go
Waller.
Waller and Pitts.
I'd probably go
down years,
Waller
though.
5,
No, he hasn't
and then
played all
Schultz
year.
6.
Waller didn't
Yeah,
play all year.
but
Njoku, Gerald Everett,
Gerald Everett is very underrated too. I really
Dawson
like
Knox, Tyler Higbee, but I think Schultz is better than all those guys. Give me Schultz.
him. Yeah,
every time.
Schultz is better than most of those guys. I don't know. You could definitely make a conversation. He's top 6. No, he's better than Goddard.
He's right there. That's what I'm saying, though. They need to get more usage out of him, and it showed last week. I mean, playoffs are a great time to do it. But, Huff, one thing I was going to allude to when you mentioned that rough start in the playoffs, I mean, if our followers have been paying attention all year, now would be the time to jump on. You had that ugly start to begin the year, and you jumped on, so you're kind of following pace. You're just setting yourself up for the same story.
Yeah, it's really not the one I want. But I said this week 1, and just looking for a bounce back. I really like I like all the spreads this week. There's one that's a little sketchy in my opinion that I could really go either way on, but I really like a lot of these spreads this week. So
I agree, actually.
we'll have to see.
I
what
really
comes down.
agree.
What was I going to say? Yeah, big draws. I think Huff's going to make a comeback here.
We got this. I appreciate that.
4 games this weekend, lots to look forward to in those matchups. Let's jump into some news from around the other leagues first, as well as some questions and such from our followers on Instagram. The first thing I have here is that last week was the 1-year anniversary of mobile sports betting being legalized in New York State. The money for that first year is staggering, coming in just over $16 billion in handle for 2022. Generated just over $1.3 billion in revenue, resulting in $693 million generated in taxes. The states are quickly figuring out that they are not disappointed with how much money is being generated by these sports books and how much taxes are coming in. I believe I just heard this again about Ohio and all the stuff that's going on there with all the advertising stuff. They're all pissed off about who DraftKings is advertising to and who MGM is advertising to, so they're paying millions and millions in fines for that kind of stuff right now. And that's a whole nother ball of wax. In the MLB, the only point I got here is that the 2023 season has not even begun. There's already talks about where Ohtani might end up. He's a free agent at the end of the season. Some say he may be the first $500 million man when he enters free agency. I heard Padres are very, very interested in him.
Cubs. Chicago Cubs.
That'd be wild.
They're building this team now. I saw a whatever you call it, jersey swap thing of him in a Cubs uniform, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, Chicago, big city market. He's obviously in LA right now, not from here, so you usually don't see a guy like that go to a smaller market. I feel like they kind of know the bigger markets, but I mean, I could be surprised, but I think the Cubs are a very intriguing team for a lot of free agents, especially someone like him that's just hitting dingers and pitching. So, but I don't know. Obviously, arguably the best player of our generation, and we haven't really seen a ton of them with some of the injury issues. But like you said, first $500 million player, I definitely think he's going to get that.
Honestly, the best dual threat player since Babe Ruth, but I would love to see him go to a big market. I think the Chicago Cubs would do that, and maybe he'd revitalize that franchise that won just.
That's what I mean. I think that would be a really cool, and that's in my division. But again, I'm just kind of giving up on baseball for the most part. But like,
you have to.
I don't even care. Like the Cubs are a cool market. They're a good. They're a cool team. Like I like when the Cubs are good. And in 2016, I really liked that Cubs team, and I kind of like gravitate. I've said this before. I like a lot of the teams in the Pirates division. Everyone except the Reds, basically. I just hate the Reds. But the Cardinals and the now I'm blanking. The Cardinals and the who we talking about here?
Brewers.
No, not the Brewers. Cardinals, Cubs.
Cubs?
Yeah, I like the Brewers are probably third. I like the Cardinals and the Cubs 1 and 2. Obviously, other than the Pirates, but I really just don't like the Reds and
Wait,
I
why
think
do you
the
hate
Cubs-
the Reds?
I don't know.
Because
They
they
just
suck.
there's and they're from
They
Cincinnati.
battle them
There's
for
really-
last place.
It's because Pete Rose bet on his own team and got suspended from the Hall of Fame.
There's really
see,
just nothing to like about the Reds.
You see, the Mets got Tommy Pham.
Yeah, I did see that today.
Yeah, the
That's pretty good.
Who'd the Red Sox get off the Braves? Adam Duvall.
They picked up Adam Duvall. They got Kenley Jansen, Corey Kluber, Justin Turner a few years late on all those guys, but good ads. nonetheless.
A few years late, definitely on Justin.
Yeah, Corey
Turner.
Kluber.
I mean, hey,
Corey
if there's ever
Kluber's
good
been a
place to
journeyman.
revitalize your career, though, is in Boston. What was I gonna
You
say
guys-
though?
You're not wrong.
I think a lot of these big stars should start going to some of the bigger market baseball towns. Love to see that rather than San Diego Padres. I mean, nobody out there is a San Diego Padres fan. Sorry if you're listening and you are, but had to say it.
Do you, another big name, obviously didn't play last year. Do you guys think, with all the talks of the past couple of years, do you guys think Trevor Bauer is going to find a team this year? Do you think he'll be back?
Tough call.
I don't know. I haven't really.
Those situations are
Heard
so hard
about
to
him
deal
in a
with when
minute,
it comes
yeah.
into legal issues and then the league's
He
own
was. I think. I
punishments.
don't know. I think the reason that there's talks of him coming back, obviously, he wasn't convicted of anything. It was just like whatever. I didn't really look into it too much. I've just seen his name kind of circling back in like certain situations, and I guess he's been saying. I know he got what $32 million from the Dodgers to be released. So I don't know if he's necessarily like dying to play baseball right now after getting a paycheck for that for nothing. It's like these NFL.
I
coaches
wouldn't
get
come
fired.
back.
I'd be like, I'm done. $32
I
million
would
in the
not
bank.
come back.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm done. That's like what's
could
the
just do,
Cardinals
like-
coach? He got $20 million to go to Thailand.
He could just do like podcasts for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
People would want to hear him talk.
Yeah, $32 million. Yeah, we don't need you anymore. Here's $32 million. Oh, thanks.
Lots of good stuff out of the MLB season approaching rather quickly, so lots more on that soon. Let's shift our focus over to the NHL. The first point I have here is that Robin Leonard and his wife have officially filed for bankruptcy after only making one payment of an agreed settlement for an exotic snake farm. Ironically, the previous owner who made the agreement with Leonard was murdered by his wife, who then shortly after filed a lawsuit against Leonard regarding the payments, hearing upwards of $50 million in debt. So I thought that was kind of interesting to hear.
Doesn't he still play?
Yeah, how are you filing for bankruptcy when you're still in the NHL?
Ask Evander Kane.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, his is obvious though.
I don't know how that works. It's definitely more messy than we think, but
Like a guy's probably making like
4 sheets a year?
$100,000 a month. Like, how are you
Yeah.
filing for bankruptcy?
who knows? Honestly,
Yeah, jeez.
beats me. If he owes the bank money, owes this person money, who knows? Who knows who's coming after him?
Sounds like he's in some dirty shit.
Yeah, seriously.
A snake farm.
A snake farm.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't even know. An exotic snake farm. Are you breeding snakes?
Do you guys want to get into that business? I hear it's on the up and coming.
Yeah.
That and like
Yeah, well,
alpacas?
I'm going to start breeding snakes.
Maybe it's a Vegas thing.
Yeah. or
Honestly.
wherever he's from. He's not from here.
All right, the next point I have here is that David Pastrnak has entered the final year of his contract with the Bruins. He will be a free agent at the end of the season. Rumors about his new contract are starting to circulate. ESPN reporter John Bucey-Gross believes the Bruins would have based their offer on Johnny Gaudreau's contract and offered him about $10 million a year for 8 years. However, the forward reportedly refused, assuming he's hoping for more than that, and understandably so, as Pastrnak is heading for a 120-point season, including more than 60 goals. Ace, you want to comment on this?
Yeah, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. This has been in the Boston media for months, and I've been reading everybody's take and every contract that's been drawn up by somebody that doesn't matter. So I think they're really just focused on the main goal of the season, which I said from day one of the NHL, is a Stanley Cup, and then they'll worry about that after the fact. Some of the comments I've read, though, is he wants to be in Boston for his career, and he idolizes guys like David Krejci and Patrice Bergeron, and they've really shown him his way, and he's made a home here. He wants to represent the black and gold and be that guy, potential future captain. Already wears an A. Yeah, I'm guessing he's going to get somewhere between 11 and 12.5 million year in and year out. So he's already said he doesn't want to be the highest paid player in the league, but who knows when he's playing the way he is? He's such a game breaker. I mean, it's the blank check in my opinion.
He's really not even that good. No, I'm kidding. Just trying to get you going, Ace.
I know. I had to wait. We all know that's not true. I'll let you talk yourself out of it.
Nah, he'll get whatever he wants. God deserves whatever. And I really don't think he's leaving any. Either,
Guy puts asses in the seats, and his name's represented on the back of almost every jersey. David Pasternak's going to be a Boston Bruin. Just needs to get that ring first this year.
You said he idolizes guys like Bergeron and Krejci. If those two retire, what do we think happens?
No, yeah, I'm saying more so David Krejci as a fellow countryman, Czech guy. There's clips all over.
Yeah.
I think he wants to follow in his footsteps. I think Krejci did the NHL the right way and whatnot, and really passed along his teachings to Pastrnak. And they've built that whole culture around him. I mean, everything's catered to him. I think he stays there. No reason to leave, in my opinion. New coaching. The coaching change, I think, is actually monumental. If Cassie was still at the helm, maybe there'd be questions because Krejci wouldn't come back. Players would be disgruntled and maybe be on his way out. But with the signings of McAvoy and Lindholm, and you have a lot of cornerstones of the franchise still there for years to come, I mean, I think he stays in place and he's happy to play in that offense Montgomery's got rolling.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Pasta's probably 26?
Damn, he is still that young?
Wow.
He might be a little bit older. Let's say, dude, Pastrnak. 26, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of those NHL superstars. It's like I always feel like they're so young, and then I look it up and I'm like, okay, they're like mid-20s, but then I'm like, okay, that means they have like 10 years left, and if they can play at any bit of a pace that they're on right now, it's like they're an all-time Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? All-time great.
I've been saying, honestly, stretch comparison, but not really the way he's playing this year. I kind of just compare him to Alexander Ovechkin, so. Plays that physical style, big body, but is also very skilled and can put the puck in the net from that same spot whenever he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see what you mean there.
Good stuff there, boys. We have some questions here from our Instagram followers. First one's here from our boy Justin. He's asking, what are your thoughts on the Marino-Ty Smith trade now that we've seen them play both a handful of games? Ty Smith getting some minutes here for the Pens. I haven't seen Marino too much here with the Devils, but you guys got any comments on that?
I at first I kind of liked Marino whenever he was a Penguin, and I know Mike Sullivan wasn't a big fan of him, and I kind of spoke on this whenever that trade happened, but I didn't know much about Ty Smith or who he was coming from New Jersey, a team that obviously since the start of this season they weren't really much coming into this year. They've been like a young team that people have been on the eye or kind of had on the horizon with Heischer and Hughes. They've had the stars, and now we've seen the success this year. But I don't know. I kind of like the Smith defenseman that we got from him, or for Marino. I think that he's been able to. I like the style of play he plays at, kind of a tough ass style play. He's not the biggest guy. He just has like that mentality that he doesn't really care any size. Just kind of go out there and play. I like defensemen like that, and kind of the complete opposite of Marino. So definitely someone that Mike Sullivan was looking for and that fits the system a lot better. But Ace, I saw you waving around.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think much of this trade when you mentioned it earlier, but now that I've had time to digest it a little bit and think about it again, I was honestly pretty high on Marino. I think I talked about him coming into the year about the Penguins. I always thought he was going to be that next defenseman. Maybe because, what's his name, Pierre Maguire in between the glass was gassing him up that one game when he made his debut in Boston as family there, and he scored that first goal. Maybe not debut, but scored his first goal in Boston, and they were gassing him up to be the next big thing. So I'm surprised that they dealt him, but at the same time, Ty Smith was a pretty big defensive prospect and kind of fell out of the
Yeah, I didn't really know who he was coming into the Penguins. I didn't really know much about him.
Yeah, he was supposed to be always a good defenseman. So I think maybe just the change of scenery to get those two in a different role that's more suited to them. Ty Smith's left-handed though, no?
Yeah.
I think John Marino was a right-handed defenseman, so you swap there.
Correct.
Does he go on the top unit with Letang?
I don't know exactly where they have him playing. I haven't really looked at our line matchups. I kind of always just look at the forwards. They shuffle our defense around a lot, but because Dumoulin's been very inconsistent, and we've had Letang in and out of the lineup all year. So
I was just going to say, with Letang's most recent portion of him being out, Ty Smith's been filling in on the first power play, and I believe with some time with some Dumoulin.
Yeah, that's why I think they just wanted a change of style on the back end. Both highly touted defensemen, younger guys too. So you'll get your worth with that trade. Win-win for both sides, in my opinion.
Yeah, obviously. I don't, like you said, Jesse, I don't really know much about Marino's, how he's been doing for the Devils. I don't really watch too many of their games unless they're playing the Penguins or I'm betting against, or I'm betting on the game that they're in. But yeah, I like the Smith Marino trade a lot so far for the Penguins.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we have another question here. What are your thoughts on the top 3 defensemen in the NHL right now? No bias, just honesty.
Cale Makar.
Victor Hedman always has to be in your top 3, or you're crazy.
Okay, well, Adam Fox has got to be in your top
I was going to
three.
say Adam
I'm
Fox.
going to take
3.
Charlie McAvoy over him. Obviously, no bias. He's just a stud. and
That's
he's
literally
not
like,
soft.
like
Adam
you're the only person in
Adam
America
Fox
that
would get
says
knocked
that.
out by Charlie McAvoy in a
You're
fight.
the only
Don't
person
tell
in
me I'm
America
wrong.
that says that, and then you follow it up with not bias.
I mean, I think I'm biased on that take. I gave it away. But, yeah, no, Charlie McAvoy would rock Adam Fox in a fight any day of the week. Put my money on that.
We're
Not
talking
a
top
soft
3
play.
defensemen.
They were teammates on the Long Island Gulls.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, huh? The future top 2 defensemen in the NHL. I mean, Cale Makar is a different breed of defenseman, but all-around defenseman, McAvoy's up there too. But Hedman, I you can edge McAvoy. I think he comes in at 4 or 5 realistically, but I think you have to put Hedman there for his. He's on the ice.
I'll go Makar. For me, it's Makar. Hedman's still there. Adam Fox and McAvoy are like.
Heiskanen's 5 in my
Roman
opinion.
Josi.
Roman Josi kind of fell off since he had that.
I was just gonna
Did
say,
he get the Norris?
Yossi,
Not the Norris. What's that? What's the defenseman award called?
Yeah, the Norris.
the Norris.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, did he get that 2 years ago or no?
No, I think he came in second.
All right,
It was
yeah,
when
that's what I
Fox
thought.
beat him out.
Yeah, so I mean, give or take, and the other thing you have to look at: Hedman, top left-handed defenseman.
Moritz
and then you
Seider
have-
is on the horizon of this conversation.
Yeah,
Yo, Condre Miller, I'm telling you, bro.
he's not in this conversation. Condre Miller's around like the.
He's in the same conversation as like Moritz Seider, 100%.
I like Seider's size, but I do think Keandre Miller's a really
Seider's
player.
younger though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 21, dude.
He's
I mean,
20,
Condre Miller's 22.
I thought he was 19 or 20. Didn't he enter the NHL at like 19, 18, 19? Seider?
Yeah, he was
Right.
literally he was I think as young as he can be, 18, 19.
Yeah. But no,
I mean,
other guys
I'm biased to the Red Wings too, so I'll defend
Want to
myself.
know? Once you get past that top 3, I think it's pretty close to a consensus with Makar, Hedman, and Fox, with McAvoy, Heiskanen, and Josi right on the outside. But some other big names out there: Drew Doughty, Erik Karlsson, and Brent Burns are all still playing great hockey, even though they're really old.
Erik Karlsson is playing incredible hockey right now.
Did you
Drew
see that?
Doughty,
He was on like a
he does
15 game
everything.
point streak.
Yeah, dude. You know how old he is?
Does he have a few hat tricks this year, Erik Karlsson? He does.
I don't
He
know.
does.
He has
I
like
know he
I think
does.
he has like 4 OT winners.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
The one game I bet against the Sharks, he scored in overtime. I was like, you let
Yeah.
the fucking defenseman that's 39 years old fucking go end to end in overtime.
You know who's
Yeah, no, he-
kind of fallen off though is Aaron Ekblad. I always thought he was going to take off as one of the next top
Me too.
defensemen.
That's a
I
good
feel like
point.
Brent Burns is falling off too, man. I feel like he's not
He's in a low.
who
He's not the top defenseman on his own team anymore. Jacob Slavin, I think, on the
I'm
Hurricanes.
trying to think of like some underrated defensemen that are.
You still have John Carlson in the NHL. Quinn Hughes, he's someone to look at.
Quinn Hughes is a little
I like
underrated.
Heiskanen. I mean, I think people underrate him. He's really good. He just got the bag too.
Yeah, he is really good for Dallas.
Trying to think if there's any.
I don't know.
top
I think
defense.
I think we hit the top 3. I think it's easier to go. I think McAvoy is just under Fox still because obviously Fox has the Norris. and
Makar's a
he's shown-
forward.
Yeah,
It-
but Makar's 1 with the defenseman.
Makar is
next to
clear
his
cut
name.
1,
Yeah.
and then 2 and 3. I don't know. Ace is gonna go Hedman Fox. I'll go Fox Hedman. Huff. I don't know how you go.
I said
Hedman, Fox.
I said Makar, Hedman, Fox. I like
Victor Hedman's such a tough matchup every night.
he's still
Because of his size, dude. His stick is like so long.
Yeah. Experience, Stanley Cup pedigree multiple times. Like, come on. In his offense, he contributes offensively all the time. Plays power play, penalty kill, you know?
Yeah, I'm not stepping in front of his shot. I'll tell you that.
Stud.
He's got like how many more years you think he has of being a top defenseman in the league?
A top defenseman, 2.
2. I said 2.
Letang's pretty good.
It's the injuries, dude. You just can't stay on the ice.
Isn't he back, like, skating with the team and shit?
Yeah. It's one thing. I mean, his career the past couple of years has taken, like, obviously the turns with the strokes, 2 strokes, and his dad just died, so he's missed a couple of games. So it's just been one thing after another with him. If he could be, when he's on the ice, he's, I mean, one of the best defensemen. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be a biased person saying that, but the stats show. I know he has the team to back it up. He can just throw the puck up to any of these forwards on this team. And when the Penguins are playing at home, scoring a lot, I know that's how the Rangers and Bruins are. He gets the points, and he's obviously an offensive defenseman, but the consistency he's done it for 3 cups, you can't argue with that. But right now, yeah, he's definitely not a top 5, I'd say, or even top 10 right now. I think there's so much young talent at the defensive position in the NHL. Like, I'm taking guys like Sider, all those guys that we started to argue, Keontae Miller, all those guys. You know what I mean? Like, I do still think Letang is better than Brent Burns, though. To bring up some of those older guys, I'm taking Letang.
Yeah, I do too. I think Letang is good. I do like Letang. I think he's
very similar to Erik Karlsson right now, because Erik Karlsson's like forced into, like, he's kind of carrying that team. Like, obviously Letang has never had to carry the Penguins. Like, there's been years where Crosby or Malkin hasn't been there, and Letang's kind of been like the second fiddle. But obviously in the NHL, when you're a defenseman, you're not really expected to score much. So when guys like Makar and Karlsson did it when he was younger, there's been obviously other defensemen that have done it, but those are just 2 of the most offensive ones that come to my mind. It's just kind of more surprising. So, but I do think Letang still edges out Burns.
To close out the conversation, though, 2 more 4 defensemen I'd like to just highlight that kind of fly under the radar. 2 of them they're going to be up and coming as well with that Sider Miller group that you were mentioning. Definitely Rasmus Dahlin and Thomas Chabot from the Ottawa Senators. Those guys play big minutes night in, night out, and they're the cornerstones of their defensive group. 2 guys that kind of fell under the radar, supposed to be studs, though, kind of fell off the face of the earth, were Seth Jones and Zach Werenski. I mean, injuries riddled their careers a bit, but everybody thought they were the next guy.
Yeah, Werenski had flashes, and like you said, Seth Jones just kind of the injuries, and I don't know. Werenski did slip down. I guess I didn't realize that.
Dahlin and Chabot, I guess, has been doing it longer, but Dahlin's going to be good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chabot's a little older, but he's definitely a key part to that Senators team right now. He's always in the mix with Kachuk and everything. He scores a lot of goals too for defensemen.
You think Dahlin ever has a Norris potential?
Maybe like
8 years.
A hot year, but like never
yeah. The Sabres,
the
team is sick.
Way.
He's having a good year. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, kind of setting the scene. Like Sabres have a really good year in a playoff.
He was a number 1 overall pick, right?
Yep. He played for Michigan, right?
No.
Who's the one? Oh, that's Owen Power. He's on the same
Owen Power
team.
played for Michigan, yeah.
I haven't seen much of him this year.
I was watching the Sabres blow that -1.5 last night, and I was actually watching some of their defensemen, how good, like, Owen Power can skate with the puck. He honestly, that was the first time I really, like, honed in and watched, like, him, and because the score was fucking 3-1. I'm not really watching the game anymore. I'm half watching the Red Wings game because I had Red Wings money line and -1.5. They fucking blew that shit too. They were up 3-1 in the second too.
That was brutal, bro.
Did you have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible. But so I'm watching the Sabres game, and he can just move the puck. Their power play, when they put out Dahlin and Owen Power, it's actually crazy. How, like,
bro, that young core on that power play is incredible. I love watching it.
THT, that guy's the man.
He had about 2 opportunities. He could have put that game away for us last night. He didn't. 1 in overtime.
Still young.
We got to take him, Pasternak, McDavid to score goals every single night.
Yeah, but Mackie, back to what you just said about he's still young. Well, you're not a gambler. I'm mad at him from last night. I needed him to score last night.
Yeah.
That's like I saw a meme after Maher missed those 4 kicks. Someone was like, being a sports gambler is thinking about what over 3.5 missed extra points would have paid.
I saw that, yeah. Yo, what about the over 1.5 field goals Or actually, never mind.
Oh,
I wouldn't even.
yeah.
No, imagine if you took the kicking points. Like you can take
Well,
away
they
5.5
actually,
kicking
Mackie,
points.
that was also affected because they stopped going for field goals even late in the game when there was still a
Yeah,
2-3
you're
score
right.
game.
Dude, they went for
They
it.
couldn't. They
on
couldn't
4th
trust
and
him.
6, up 2 possessions.
He's just gotta lock in this week. Watch him just like kick like a 62 game winner. Oh, that'd be so sick. What a comeback story. That'd be scripted.
Yeah, that'd be
Even
even
Still
better
gotta
script
hit the
would be
kick.
for him to miss the field goal again.
That'd be brutal. Oh my god, I
should
think
go
he would
mi-
actually
he
get
should-
death threats.
He should go miss the first extra point just for the boys.
That would be vintage Dallas Cowboys throwback to Tony Romo.
No, I think the Cowboys bounce back, but we'll get into that in the NFL segment here. I know bounce back. I think he bounces back.
Yeah, lots of good stuff out of the NHL there as we were talking a little bit in the NFL. We got some news out of the NFL. The first point I have here is that the Titans hire Rand Carlton as their new general manager. He was previously the 49ers director of pro personnel, so new GM in Tennessee. Possibly some big moves happening there with the head coach and such.
I'd like to see Taylor Lewan was talking about this on Bussin' with the Boys. He was hoping, I forget which guy he wanted to get the GM role. I don't know if this, do you know if this was the guy that was filling in the interim role?
I'm not 100% sure.
Because I know he was talking about he was hoping that the guy that was in the interim role stayed. So I'm interested to see who it is that got if it is him that got the job, because he thinks, he was talking about many a times with 2 ACL tears in 3 years, he thinks he's going to get cut. And
this was not the
obviously
interim GM. The interim GM was
Interesting.
Ryan Cowden.
Taylor Lewan to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want that to happen very badly. Be a great veteran lineman to bring in on a young offensive line, a really young team. That's my hope for the Steelers offseason. It's not a big ask. It's really not. I'm asking for a lineman with 2 ACL tears in the past 3 years, and I'm willing to take the risk with what I'm going to get. The risk over reward. Ace, you've heard that term before. I'll take it. I want this guy to come boost our offensive line. I said this yesterday. They saw the jersey swap. He said these colors go hard. I'm rooting for my boy Taylor. Come wheel home the left tackle position for Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris. Be a great young core for him to be around. But the only thing that scares me is everything he has going on off the field and could retire. But I don't know. The Titans as a whole, their team is in such a weird position. You have guys like Derrick Henry heavily in their prime, or kind of edging out their prime with the average running back life expectancy in the NFL with some of these elite guys over the past couple of years. Who knows what they're going to do at the quarterback position, the wide receiver position. They don't really have many names, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. New guy, obviously you're going to see a lot of new faces in there, but that's my wish for the Titans is that they do cut Taylor Lewan and he becomes a free agent, comes to the Steelers. That's all I'm hoping for.
Mac, you hear that? That's the keys to getting back to the playoffs for the Steelers. Sign the old lineman.
Dude, we're fucking 2 wins off, and if
That's
Mitch
the most
Trubisky
Pittsburgh thing.
if Mitch Trubisky doesn't throw 3 picks to fucking Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith in the red zone, we don't even need the Dolphins or any of that shit to happen in Week 18, and we're in the playoffs.
Alrighty, my next point out of the NFL is that the Dolphins-Bills game was the most watched Sunday wildcard game in 9 years, coming in at 39.56 million views at its peak. Huge for the NFL. Lots of viewership on one of their big weekends, but not to be surprised.
Oh, yeah, I know you've all been loyally waiting, watching, wanting this new prime NFL jersey. First contest in Hit the Books history. And the winner is one of the very own pigs, the local Ryan Svikovich. Big New Yorker. Congratulations, picking the New York Giants. Been a long time follower too, so well deserved. Yeah, always paying attention on the socials. So that's you get what you deserve. Way to be, Ryan. Congratulations, buddy.
Congratulations, Ryan. We will be following up with you via DM, or we'll shoot you a text, figure out what kind of jersey you're looking for, and then go from there. But congrats.
Yeah,
More
thanks to everyone
giveaways on
else
the
that
way.
participated. That was a major success. Obviously, we kind of we got a major bounce back and a lot of following grown off of that. So definitely look for more giveaways in the future. That's definitely going to be something that we're looking for.
Definitely be sure to check out BetUS, our newest partner in the sports betting world, coming at you with the best lines week in and week out. I know a lot of you want to get some action in on this AFC, NFC divisional weekend in the playoffs here for 2023. I'm going to be looking at that Travis Kelce touchdown line. You can parlay a lot of stuff on there. They also have a nice casino if you like going on there. Just be checking it out. Definitely BetUS. Check out our link in the bio. Let us know. Get some bonuses. Get on down. Win today.
Good stuff, Ace. All right, it is time. 4 games this weekend in our NFL divisional round. Lots to look forward to. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. So let's jump in. The first trend I got to get us started on the week is that the outright winner owns a 33-10-1 against the spread mark in the last 44 divisional playoff games. So in these divisional games, really, if you like that underdog, take them straight up. If you like that favorite, take those points.
You like that? He's out, by the way.
Yeah, he is out. Legendary video, though.
Yeah. Alrighty, boys. Let's jump right into our first game here on Saturday, coming in at 4:30 p.m. in Kansas City. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars going into Kansas City. Chiefs are our favorite here at 8.5 points. Their money line sitting at -450. The Jaguars' money line sitting at +350. And the over-under sitting at 52.5. The trends I got for this one, that the Chiefs are 8-1 straight up in their past 9 games after a bye week. Chiefs are 7-1 straight up, 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 home playoff games as the favorite. The Jaguars have covered 4 straight as a playoff dog, winning straight up twice. Jaguars have won 6 straight, 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. Mac, you want to get us going on this first matchup? What do you think? Jacksonville and the Chiefs.
Yeah, this is the one spread that I didn't love out of the 4. I'm a little tossed up on this one because if you saw how Trevor Lawrence came out last week. If he does that this week, there is no coming back. Mahomes will not let him do that, and this game can get out of hand. But then again, like if he has a good game and he plays like he did in that second half, then this game could be a 3-point game the entire game. It could be neck and neck. It could end up being a shootout. So. I don't really love the spread here. I do think the Chiefs will advance. I think Mahomes, at the end of the day, will get enough done to get a needed win against an inexperienced quarterback. But the spread I'm not really loving. I just think the Chiefs will end up winning this game.
Patrick Mahomes in the kingdom against an unproven Jaguars team. I love that every day of the week. I'm definitely going to be looking at some Mahomes props and Kelce props. As you know, they love the prop to pop off in the playoffs and in the prime time. 8.5's a lot, like Mackie said. I love them in a teaser or an alternate spread parlay. I know Huff and I have been ripping those in basketball, but I'd love that here this week in the NFL as well. I think you can get them at 2.5. It's about -320. That's what I saw over on BetUS. But besides that, I think the over is going to be a big play this week as well. I think that Trevor Lawrence will be able to put up points, whether it be from coming from behind, which he's done all year, or if he keeps the shootout close to begin with. I think the Chiefs may start off slow, so I wouldn't be looking at a first half over, but I definitely would look at a full game over as I think it lights up towards the end. Huff, you leaning Chiefs with us, or what are you thinking for this one?
I'm not. I like the Jaguars. I think this is a team of destiny situation that we have with this team. And obviously going up against the big bad wolf and Pat Mahomes and the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl at their home field. I think the Jaguars, my number one takeaway from looking at this 8.5 point spread is the Chiefs just get big spreads week in and week out. And more often than not, they don't cover a touchdown, more than a touchdown spread. And I think the Jaguars do end up losing this game. I do like the value on their money line. I think it is kind of worth a little sprinkle, but I'll take the points with the Jaguars plus 8.5. I think they keep it close, whether it's a shootout or I don't see it really being a low scoring defensive game, but I think the Jaguars plus 8.5 is the play for me.
Yeah, Huff. one thing I think you're talking about with that team of destiny, do you think he pops on the scene and follows into the footsteps of former first overall pick Joe Burrow? In year 2, puts himself really on the map as one of the top quarterbacks in the league by winning in the playoffs and going on an extended run and beating Pat Mahomes in the kingdom? That's your thought process?
And Trevor Lawrence is gonna have. And this is just obviously you made this point, and if Trevor Lawrence does this, he's gonna have a way harder route. He has to go through Pat Mahomes in Kansas City, and then next week he could have to go to Cincinnati or to Buffalo to get Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. So if he pulls this off, I think it's honestly more impressive with a more underdog team. I think not many people expected. Actually, the Bengals division odds last year were like plus 2,000, and the Jaguars were only plus 750 this year to win their division. So I guess the Bengals was technically more of a long shot, but led by Trevor Lawrence, that comeback was unreal last week. I do think that was a little bit of a blow by the Chargers, meaning like not. I think people are discounting
They
how
sold.
much.
They sold.
You're right, but people are discounting Trevor Lawrence and how much of a crazy comeback that was to buckle down with. We talked about it last week. Doug Peterson in the playoffs, a guy that's been there, done that. You don't think he was in the locker room at halftime? Guys, it's 27-7. Mackey texted me, dude, it's 27-7. This game is not over. We come out of half, get points. This is a fucking ball game, and that's exactly
Also,
what
Huff, you got to think about it. You know what Trevor Lawrence said in the locker room at halftime? You know what he said at halftime? It's Saturday, boys. I'm not losing. I've never lost a game in my high school, college, or pro career on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to tell you this Saturday, he's losing, Huff. Save that money. Save those units on your card. Do not put Jacksonville there. Patrick Mahomes at home has been there before. He's not the LA Chargers and Brandon Staley. Andy Reid will get his boys to the conference championship.
Jacksonville is a really nice tease opportunity here, though. It's a high spread. You can tease it up even higher.
That's what I think I'm going to end up doing with this, because there's another game. The other game that I think is a little line sketch is the Bills-Bengals, but I could see myself teasing one of them.
I think this will be a fun shootout to watch, though, for sure.
Dude, you get the Jags at plus 14.5 points. I don't even think it's a question.
Any playoff game, really.
It's Pat Mahomes, dude. It's always got to worry about it.
This is another.
Patrick Mahomes over 2.5 passing touchdowns is sitting at plus 120.
Like, this game can get out of hand. Like, it's possible.
Travis Kelce dancing in the end zone with the football. Jackson Mahomes going nuts for the crowd, getting people pissed on Twitter with his wife. Popping the champagne all over the fans.
I don't know, dude. I think this team keeps it close. I really like this Jaguars team.
I think it's kept close too, but you can't overlook the fact that it can very well get out of hand. I mean, we've seen the Chiefs go down 24-3 against the Texans that one year and end up winning the game by 25 points, whatever it was. It's just 14.5. There's never a number where you're like safe teasing it against the Chiefs, in my opinion.
I agree, and that's why I'm thinking more just take the fucking 8.5, because if they're keeping it close, I think they cover 8.5. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think there's a situation where they lose by 13 and like you cover the 14. You know what I mean?
Like if they're gonna cover a 14-point spread, they're gonna cover an 8-point spread.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I couldn't get that out. But that's my takeaway on this game. As far as an over-under, if you want to tease the same game, I'd maybe tease whatever spread with the over. Get like what's the over set at?
52.5.
52, so you could tease it down to like 45.
Yeah. I like that.
Solid analysis there, boys, on that Saturday 4:30 matchup. Let's move forward to the Saturday night game, 8 p.m., the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Another great matchup here. The Eagles being our favorite here at 7.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 360. Giants money line at plus 290, and the over-under sitting at 48.5. The Giants are 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games on the road, as well as 5-1 against the spread in their past 6 visits to Philadelphia. The Eagles failed to cover their last 5 straight in January, as well as they've lost 4 straight as the playoff favorite. I'm on the Giants here, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Ace, you want to get us rolling here?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay off the Giants. I did it last week and it burnt me. I did it a few times this year and it burnt me. I know 7.5 points is a lot, but I would take that half a point and get those Eagles -7. I think they have a lot to prove, and they're on a nice train to the conference championship here. They get a good matchup with a familiar team. A lot of people will be scared because it's a divisional matchup, but I am not. I think the Eagles know what they're doing. They're going to be at home, ready to go Saturday night, so it's going to be rocking Philly. Name of that stadium, I can't remember it right now. Is that the Link?
Lincoln Financial.
The link.
Yeah. So I think the Link is going to be rocking. You know how those Philly fans get. I think Jalen Hurts has a good day. AJ Brown, guy scored, I believe, 10 of 17 games this year. So I like him to get in the end zone. I think they have a day all around. Just a lot of weapons. The Giants, I think that was their big win of the year. Was last week. That team's going to get relegated back to the off season as they should. And just too many points by the Eagles here, I think. Give me the Eagles -7. I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say.
I'm on the complete opposite side here. I actually think the Giants will win this game outright, but I'm gonna be safe and take the 7.5 points. I think 7.5 points is a ridiculous spread here for two teams that played each other a week and a half ago and are divisional opponents. Jalen Hurts has played one game in his last 5 weeks. He has no momentum going into this game after a really good start, first 15, 16 weeks to this or 14, 15 weeks to this season. This Giants team is rolling. If you watched that game last week, the confidence in Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley in that defense and the offensive line, everything's clicking right now. They have so much confidence going into this game. I can't see a scenario where the Eagles cover a 7.5 point spread in this game, and I really think the Giants got everything going for them right now. I think the Giants will win this game and be playing for an NFC championship next week. This is my long shot that was plus 5,500 that Ace laughed at last week. They're still standing. They got their matchup that they wanted right now, so let's see what they can do.
What'd you throw on that?
What?
What'd you throw on that?
50
How much?
Like $25.
What is it to win? It's still over $1,000.
No. It was
You
like
still went over $1,000.
Oh yeah, it was like I think it was like 980. I might not have gotten plus 5,500 on it then. That's what we saw on.
But still,
on
I'm right there with you. I like the Giants with the points. I'll be short and sweet with it. The Giants looked like they were the right play all game last week. Giants +3. I had the money line. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Kayvon Thibodeau. I talked about him to you guys the other day. This team is buzzing. Mackie, you just said it. Daniel Jones, with the ability he has with his feet, I think he's going to have a tough matchup against this Philadelphia defense. So it's really going to come down to what he can do, airing the ball out throwing the ball through the air. I think guys like Darius Slayton are going to have a big day. Richie James, that Hodgins guy that's been having a fucking lights out past couple of weeks. And I really like what the Giants are doing right now. Their defense has been holding it down. Mackie, to what you said, I'm not the biggest guy on Jalen Hurts right now. Obviously, the start to the season that he had is no discount to what he's done, but what he's done lately. I just am not a fan right now going into this game. I know, like you said, prime time in Philly, the Link's going to be rocking. We could have Meek Mill fucking running him out of the tunnel here. Jimmy Beal's going to be in the crowd probably. I feel like every fucking Eagles game he's at in prime time, but
nothing else to do there.
Beal, this one's for you. I'm taking the Giants +7.5, and I'm not gonna regret that one. I don't think.
Don't listen to him, Beal. We like -7. Those people that think football teams are good. It's not the make-wish here for the New York Giants.
It's the New York Football Giants.
This is a biased take by Huff because he's been a fan of them since for 6 months now. I mean, he has probably 3 jerseys of Saquon in his room. He's got the T-shirt jersey of Daniel Jones just in case he doesn't get re-signed.
Little do we know, Huff actually already selected the jersey for Ryan, a Saquon and a Daniel Jones jersey because they're both coming out of his closet.
No, he's getting Kenny. He's getting Kenny Galladay. I already said it.
Not game used, but podcast used Giants jerseys that he wears under his jacket. So
podcast used.
But no, I think I need Giants backers to err on the side of caution here, though. Don't let that poor Vikings defense fool you into thinking that Richie James Jr., Isaiah Hodgins, and Hodgins and
I think it's just Hodgins. I think it's just Hodgins. I don't know where.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know who he is, but those guys, don't be fooled. They're going up against a legitimate defense. That's why they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That's why they got Darius Slay. That's why they got. I think they have James Bradbury as well, right? And
Yeah.
so with that defensive
Former Giant.
pressure as well, yeah. I mean, I think it's too much, but what do I know? Saquon Barkley, it's gonna have to be all on you.
That's what it's going to come down to. And their offensive line, like Mackie, you made that point. Their offensive line just, I know, and like you just said the same thing, Ace. The Vikings defense has been there tonight all year. They've just given up points at will, but their offense has kept them in games, and obviously winning all those one possession games. If they had a better defense, they'd be killing teams by 10, 14 points. And I don't know, this Giants team, they're just buzzing this off the running game, and when you can run the ball in the playoffs, that's usually the team that wins. And I like what the Giants are doing here. 7.5 points, Mackie, same thing. I think the Giants can win the game outright. I'll take the points though.
Solid stuff there, boys, to round out our Saturday games. Before we jump into our Sunday games, I got another question here from a follower coming from our boy Abik. What teams are on the upset alert this weekend as we come through 2 games here? What do you guys think about that?
Beak,
All of
my
them.
upsets, my upsets coming up though. Beak, just wait. I think you're gonna see this on the card for me this week, but it has to do with the cold weather. Joey Burr.
All of them except for the Jags, or except for the Chiefs, I guess.
Dude, I think they're all on upset watch.
Great question.
Not
Beak.
saying they're all gonna get upset, just saying that they're all very potentially going to be upset.
My favorite would be the Giants because they're not the biggest spread, but
The Bengals.
Cowboys, yeah. That's what I thought too.
Great question, Abik. We really appreciate it. Let's jump to our Sunday games here. The first one up, 3 p.m. Eastern, Cincinnati Bengals at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are our favorite here at 5.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 245, and the over-under sitting at 48.5. The trends I have here that the Bengals are 20-5 against the spread in their last 25 games, as well as 12-2 against the spread in their last 14 on the road. Do we think the Bengals can take down the Bills here? Just 5.5 point spread, the second lowest here of the week. Huff, do you want to get us rolling on this first Sunday game?
yeah, I'll get us going here. And this, I said it earlier on. This was the game that I was talking about, Mackie. The one spread that I wasn't a huge fan of. A 5.5 point spread with these two teams. We know what happened a couple of weeks ago. The game got obviously canceled with the DeMar Hamlin situation, and now the Bills are at home. And I think you're going to see a situation where DeMar Hamlin's hyping up the crowd if he's able to in Buffalo and getting the boys ready. I know the Bills didn't look good the past couple of weeks. I like the Bills here to win this game at least. Money line, I know not the greatest value, but maybe I tease the Jaguars with the Bills and get the Bills around even or plus a point or two. I think they win the game. 5.5 points, weird spread. Obviously, I think Burrow should be respected a little more. Like similar to that Cowboys-Niners spread out, it's 3 points. I think this should be maybe 3.5. I think the Bills win the game though, but I think for a bigger purpose, we've seen this with the NFL before. I'm going with the Bills for now, but stay up till Sunday. Ace, I know you kind of started to already allude to your point. If you want to just kind of continue, I'll hand things over to you.
Yeah, it pains me to say because I'm not the biggest Bengals fan, but I do enjoy watching them. I think Joe Burrow gets his. Obviously, praises to DeMar Hamlin, tough situation there, but I think he was really going to stick it to Buffalo that game. So he kind of owes it to him. He's on a revenge tour to stake his claim as the second best quarterback in the conference, which I think he is. I think he's a better quarterback overall than Josh Allen.
Agreed.
But I think it'll be Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes in the conference championship and get the matchup everybody's been waiting to see. I know it's on the road in Buffalo, which makes it really tough, and that's a great defense. I think the offense is going to struggle much more than you'd like to see. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I honestly favor the under here, even though I won't play it. I will take the Bengals money line. I think they eke one out in a very tight game. I just think Josh Allen's ball security, I've been hampering on it all year long. It's just way too loose. I think Diggs has a big day though, and Josh Allen will get his, but the turnovers will cost them, and the lack of a running game as well. And I think that the Bengals will be able to get this done. My dog of the week
Singletary's
for
been
sure.
nice for them.
Yeah, I've had this discussion with some of my buddies as well, and it's like he's playing good football, but he's not a game breaker. So if
No,
it
I know
comes
what you
down
mean.
to it,
But when you
if
got
it comes down
when you
to
got
it-
number 17 under center, that can run the ball like that. Now, obviously, you alluded to the ball security thing, but when you have a quarterback like that can move and extend plays, and obviously he's not necessarily known as a mobile quarterback, but guys like him and Trevor Lawrence and Herbert that can just get out of the pocket. They're so young and athletic, like they can run. And when Josh Allen's that big, and obviously they're obviously always expecting the pass with Buffalo, with him under center and the play action. So I think with Singletary and Cook, they've shown the ability to feed them into this offense and get them theirs to the extent of maybe not, like you said, maybe not a top running back that you're looking at, maybe like to take props on and stuff like that. But I don't know. I like what Singletary and them have been doing for Buffalo the past couple of weeks. I think Cook got in the end zone against Buffalo, or against Miami. Did he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, he did. He had a touchdown.
He has potential to be a game changer,
but that's my takeaway on this game. I think the Bills win the game. I might lower the spread a little bit, which I don't love doing with favorites, but with a 5.5 point spread, I can probably get them at like money line. But it'll be interesting to see what I end up doing there. This is the spread I don't love, so I could see this game like NFL rigged to go to overtime, just for like the fuck of it, because I don't know, we haven't seen these new overtime rules yet. I'm really rooting for one of these games to go to overtime because I want to see both teams get the ball and both score a touchdown, and then it's just like the same thing that happened before, and then they get pissed and they're like, oh, what do we do now? Do we play out the clock? This still isn't fair. But I don't know. I really want one of these games to go to overtime. I could see this being it.
This would be the one.
Truly.
I lean Bengals here. I just think they have the better team all around, the more trustworthy quarterback. Like Ace said, Josh Allen's just too. He just makes too many mistakes, especially with the interceptions. Joe Burrow's just more sound. He makes the smarter plays, and honestly, I just think they have the all-around better team in the situation. You got to go into Buffalo, you got to go into Bills Mafia. It's tough to play there, but I don't know. Joe Burrow's the one to get it done, so we'll see how it plays out. I like the Bengals though.
Solid stuff for the first game on Sunday, boys. Let's move forward to our final game of the divisional round. Sunday night, 6:30 p.m., the Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are the favorite here at -3.5. Their money line sitting at -184. Cowboys money line at +154, and the over-under sitting at 45.5. The trends I got for this one are that the 49ers are 11-0 straight up in their last 11 games, 9-2 against the spread. 49ers are also 12-2 against the spread, 13-1 straight up in their last 14 games at home. Cowboys are 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games played in January, as well as 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games as the underdog. We're going to send it over to our resident expert, Michael Mackey, for his take on the Dallas Cowboys. Mackey, what do you think here in our final game of the divisional round?
Yeah, being a Cowboys fan, I might be a little biased here, but I think that what's the spread sitting at now? 3.5. I got it at 4 as soon as it opened. I just think it's going to be a very close game. I think this is a very tough matchup for the San Francisco 49ers. I think it's the toughest one that they've seen since Brock Purdy's been in. It's toughest defense he's going to have to see if we play the way that we should. I don't know. Dak has a lot of confidence going into this game. I really just think that we're going to get out to a nice lead, and Brock Purdy's going to have to play from behind. And if he's able to do it in the fourth quarter and get the job done, then so be it. But I think the 4 points is a little too much, and I think it's going to be a close game down to the wire. I'm going to take the Cowboys to come out on top just because, I got to take my boys in a close game like this. And the inexperienced quarterback can become a big factor with all the confidence that the Cowboys have right now. So I'm going to ride my boys here.
I don't blame you, Mackie. Huff, Ace, what do you guys think?
I'm right there with them. I like the Cowboys in this spot. I think Dak Prescott coming off a 4-touchdown, 300-yard game last week against Tampa. Obviously, they're not looking like the best team in kind of the situation with the kicking, and obviously everyone knows what's going on with that, with what happened with Maher in that game. But I like Cowboys in this spot, Mackie. I'm right there with you. I'll take the points, though. I don't know. The money line, would you say 155 or 150?
154. I see 165 on DraftKings. It varies,
It's dropping.
Yeah.
It opened at like 175.
I don't know. I'm gonna take the points. I like Dallas with the spread. I could see this come down to a field goal in the end either way, and I'll take the points, especially when you get the hook too. I love the 3.5.
What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, you guys know where I stand on this one. I think I've been jacking my Super Bowl pick as the San Francisco 49ers all year. And at 3.5, I'm definitely buying a half a point, and I'm going to card this probably at 2 units. I think McCaffrey is going to get in the end zone. Do I think he has a big day on the ground? Maybe not. But I think he will get his through the air. Kind of alludes to my value play when we get there. But I think the weapons and Brock Purdy's on a run of destiny here. I think Huff used that earlier for Trevor Lawrence, but the real young stud in the playoffs right now is Brock Purdy. He's stealing the show, and he has George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey behind one of the best offensive lines in football with one of the best offensive-minded coaches in Kyle Shanahan, who deserves his. They've been to this moment before. They're ready. They've seen tough teams. They've seen tough defenses. They're going to get through it, I think. I think that defense on San Francisco is a lot scarier than that one of the Cowboys. So I think when it comes down to it, the Christian McCaffrey and co. are going to get it done rather than Ezekiel Elliott and co. Give me the Niners -3 here.
Very, very good stuff there, boys, out of that last game that we went over, the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Solid stuff out of the divisional round as a whole. But let's jump into what we want to call our value page of Hit the Books, our value play of the week. Each go over a play that we think is good value in the sense of the term. We talked about this here earlier in the week amongst us four. We thought it'd be a good idea. Let me start us off here. My play is going to be a 4-team parlay. Chiefs, Giants, Bills, and Cowboys coming out to plus 1735. Thought I saw some good value there and just taking a mix of the favorites and those underdogs. I think some solid picks all around.
All those money line?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm curious to see what you guys got here. Who wants to start us off?
2 dogs, 2 favorites.
Yep.
Yeah, Jesse, asking a lot from all different stadiums across the country.
I really
Personally,
am.
Mine, I thought about going with a Kelsey Mahomes one. I'll mention that first. Coming out to about plus 390. It dealt with Mahomes throwing 2 touchdowns, throwing 275 plus, and Kelsey scoring a touchdown and having 40 plus. I like that. But the one I'm actually going to give you guys as a real value play that I think you should look into deals with alternate totalage of yards for Christian McCaffrey. It's Christian McCaffrey to get in the end zone, to have 20 yards receiving and 40 yards rushing. That comes out to plus 270, I believe, on my book, at least through the prop builder. And I think that's a good play. I think McCaffrey is the focal point of this offense, and he will get into the end zone once again at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it plain and simple here. I'm gonna go with the NFC Beast parlay, even though they're playing. One of them got to beat another opponent, but I'm gonna go with Giants money line and Cowboys money line. See if we can get an NFC matchup or NFC Championship matchup with the Giants and the Cowboys to get this rivalry back up and going. Parlay odds are plus 933, so my value play of the week.
Dang, that's nuts.
Jesse, what were the odds on yours?
1735.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So $5
yeah.
on
All
that
right.
make good money.
Hit
They
it
don't
up.
have to be that high.
No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. I think Aces was more the achievable route of 390 or something around there. Ace?
Mine's
270.
Mine's plus 310. It's 2 legs. Both teams that I think are gonna win. But I'll taking the points with both of them, not necessarily with the Bills. I'm gonna take a Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown plus 105,
I like that a lot.
and a Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown plus 100. Both
Oof.
come in at plus 310. I like it. I think the Giants, if they're gonna have
He's
a day,
plus?
he's gonna have a day. They're both plus 100 and plus 105 for Diggs.
Yep, I saw that too. All right, yeah, that's a good bet though. I like that. Those are 2 studs that are going to see looks in the red zone. You know that.
Yeah.
Definitely not too much of a long shot there.
I was looking at one. I forget who I was gonna do with the Eagles. Actually, who was it? Let me see. I Kenneth Gainwell plus 430. Dude, they love to use him in random situations in the red zone. I don't know. He just like, when you get those like looks of like you're looking at plays and you're like, oh, that's good value. Like, I feel like I could see that guy scoring this week. It's like not a lot of people are going to take that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I like the Barkley and Diggs. But that's going to be mine for the week. Plus 310, 2 legs. I like it.
Another value play I liked, I just wanted to throw this out there, was Travis Kelce scored 2 or more touchdowns. When he gets one, he usually gets the second one, especially in a game like this. So it's sitting at plus 400, so it's not a bad play. Just a nice little value play.
Yeah, my values, I just love anything in the prime time, kind of like those basketball Christmas games we were talking about. You get those studs in the prime time in the playoff games. They're going to get the ball. So you got Mahomes, Kelce, Diggs, McCaffrey. Not really anybody on the Cowboys because they like to spread their offense. Same Giants, Barkley. A.J. Brown was another guy I was thinking about doing. Jamar Chase always. So a lot of good quarterbacks and good weapons that you can look into combining their yards, touchdowns, or multi-touchdown games.
That was good, boys. Lots of good stuff there in those value plays. Be sure to stay tuned. I think we're going to keep doing that here, at least through the playoffs. So lots of good stuff to look forward to. I think that's going to wrap up our episode for this week. Nothing else from me. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, that's going to do it for me. Obviously, the NHL, NBA, college basketball cards have been on fire the past couple of weeks. And last week, to be specifically, Ace could probably tell you the exact record in units. But stay tuned to the social media for everything like that. All the picks going in and night out. Other than that, thanks for listening. That's going to do it for me. Hopefully bounce back in the divisional round. We'll see you guys next week for conference championships and divisional recap.
Yeah, Hoff, just to close out, last week, the NHL card coming in at just over just around 7 units, I should say. So that's a really good week. I mean, we've been on it all year. Stay tuned. We got 6 plays going tonight, 3 NHL, 3 NBA, and I think Mackie has a few in college basketball as well. So
yeah, you want to get on in college basketball.
West Virginia's up 28-12 early.
Press Virginia, that's the hometown boys right there. But join that gravy train. It's going to keep going all year long. And then be ready to roll for more giveaways, more announcements, and some NFL content coming at you. Happy to have you guys listening. Happy to be here to talk sports. Catch you next week.
Like and subscribe. And that's going to do it for us on this episode of Hit the Books. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here. So please like, share, and subscribe wherever you can. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our plays each and every night in the NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, college basketball, and college football. Thank you again, and see you next week.